When I hear the word homelessness, I think of desperate conditions and circumstances, and people who are living in inclement weather, and people who are hungry, and people that we should feel concern for.
A lot of people that I see here, people that are down and out, sometimes illness involved, sometimes by their own volition, and sometimes for things that they necessarily couldn't account for.
Unnoticed is a good word. Became really aware of how much society doesn't acknowledge an entire culture that's completely swept under the rug.
I've been homeless now since August of 2004.
I remember one time a young college couple, they just graduated college and come out to Colorado, and the woman said to me, "I can't believe we're at a homeless shelter. We're college graduates, for God's sake." And I'm so embarrassed to be and ashamed that this has happened to us, that we're homeless and without food.
There's the stereotypes of them all being drunks and spending all their money on beer. There's stereotypes that they just don't want to work.
For me, it's the people who cause problems here in the mall, drunkenness, the selling of drugs, fights.
My kids fight. Everybody fights. Not that, I don't mean that everybody is fighting all the time, but it's not a homeless condition.
I think a lot of people are fearful. They don't know if they're mentally ill, if they're going to be attacked, or, whatever.
I think that just on a whole, people in this country and all over the place just judge them and just automatically think that they're, dirty and stinky and drunk, and they're just, a burden of society.
I'm happy to be alive, and I'm happy to be a part of the world right now. And the place that I was born to have is the place that I'm in.
We all have the same feeling about homelessness. We all have empathy for that.
I run into those that don't like what I am, don't like what I stand for, and really don't like the fact I talk to people and let them know.
I have a lot of negative associations with homelessness because I work out on the mall outside, and I deal with homeless people almost daily, and many of them are very poorly behaved. They are drunk, they're yelling obscenities, they're spare changing from my customers.
We'll give a lot of them a chance. There's been quite a few guys that, if you can show up and we used to push the cart 5 or 6 blocks. So we'd have guys that we'd tell them, show up the next 3 days, push the cart with us, we'll give you some free food or a couple bucks. And if you show up and you're dependable for those 3 days, then we'll give you a chance, we'll train you on the grill.
Everybody's got a different story. I think some people fall on hard times. Some people are shunned by their family because of some sort of mental illness, and everybody's got a different story.
I think they think we're losers. They don't understand that things happen. I got hit by a car. I was working, I had money in the bank. I had a new relationship started. I had a place to live, and I got hit by a car.
There's people that want to be homeless, that are comfortable being homeless. Although it's not the best way to live, they're very comfortable in that mode, even though they complain about it. There's comfortability there. That's what they want to do.
Homelessness is never a choice. It's never a choice. I worked. I had a job. I had an address. I even there was days when I owned a cellular phone, and I had the keys to my own personal car.
My neighbor, who's this wonderful guy, ex-Marine, 60 years old, and he's a really good guy, but when he saw what they were building here, this beautiful shelter, he made a comment to me, and he says, all these people living up in the Ritz, that ritzy Boulder homeless shelter. And I just looked at him, and I'm not really confrontational by nature, but I just couldn't let it go. And I said to him, I said, would you want to be there for even one night? Would you want to be in a situation where you have to be there for one night? And I said, what can it hurt to give these people some dignity and give them a nice, comfortable place that they can come to and not feel like it's all crummy.
We built a beautiful facility here for them, okay? It takes care of the homeless, but it also does another thing. It brings people in from other areas because of the availability of what we have here, okay? The Taj Mahal on North Broadway.
You know, life happens, and this is where you can end up, you know, and who am I to make judgments on anything? I mean, this could be anyone. It could be me in this situation. It could be family members.
That guy, just a couple of weeks ago, as I was coming into the shelter, he was leaving that morning. And he was talking to a staff member, so I joined in the conversation. He was talking about how he was going to get a house. He was so happy. He was moving into a house up in the mountains, and he had a job, and he was sure he was never going to be back in the shelter. And we were just telling him how happy we were for him.